From the Treehouse Studios in Nashville, this is the Noah Jackson podcast, I guess. My guest today is an American actor, musician, and voice actor who rose to fame as a child star in the 1990s. He's best known for his role as Kevin McAllister in the 1991 holiday classic Home Alone. I'm so sorry. Macaulay's up next week. My guest today is an American politician, environmental lawyer, author who is now serving as the 26th United States Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Yeah. That's your 2 weeks from now?
Yeah,
Mr.
sorry, you're not
RFK
Jr. Okay, for real. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Ian. My guest today is a singer-songwriter, producer, dare I say comedy writer, and video maker. We'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Whose recent song, Bangladesh, has been praised online by celebrities like SZA, Chance the Rapper, Lizzo, and more. Others have said it's what Sting sounds like to horses.
Yeah.
He has a knack for songs, performances, and recordings that are likely to make his listeners both laugh out loud and to think a little bit harder about life and living. His music videos and intimately performed jingles and musings have tens of millions of views. I'm outing him now as a secretly highly skilled mathematician and cellist. His new album, Season 3, is out now. Welcome, Ian McConnell.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad to have you. Can we crack open these Spindrifts?
Spindrifts, let's party.
Yeah. Okay.
Never too early for a Spindrift.
Cheers. At this hour?
At this hour.
Okay.
It's good.
You like this?
That's good. I've not had this before.
Do you notice the flavor?
Yeah, the lime and mint. It reminds me of something. There's like a key lime pie kind of thing going on, but then the mint is, yeah, nice.
I don't think it's very good.
You don't think it's very good? Look.
Do you know why I got it though?
I'm very I like interesting taste, even if I'm not like, that's like not maybe the most pleasant ever. It's still interesting, you know?
Right. I mean, this is sort of my shameless plea to get sponsors for the podcast.
Sure.
If Spindrift were sponsoring this, I would say it's delicious. But do you notice the flavor is called Mojito?
Mojito. Ah, nice.
Yeah, see. So for those of you that don't know, and everybody should know by now, this is a reference to, a not so veiled reference to one of Ian's popular lyrics, "You never poison the mojitos of my enemies."
It's true.
That
I understand it.
is not poison.
It's not poison. I appreciate it. I opened it myself, so that felt pretty safe. You know, I'm like Mad Eye Moody. I drink from my own like hip flask. You know what I'm talking about? Harry Potter.
Yes.
You're a Harry Potter guy?
This is bad. I love the movies.
Okay, cool.
I haven't read the books, which feels, I don't think should be awkward to say. I think the movies are so beautiful and so cool.
Yeah.
Like, really, I'm such a fan. I never really had the patience. I never really got into the magic fiction.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
You a reader?
I am a reader.
Yeah?
I've read those books. I've probably read all of them 7 times, and I've probably read the first one like 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big reader. I've definitely read them more than I've seen the movies. I like the movies. When I was growing up, like one of the 3 VHSs I had was Chamber of Secrets. And so I watched that a ton of times.
Wow.
And then I've probably seen the last one maybe once all the way through. And I was like, that was great.
Cool.
That was great.
But you're always comparing it to the book, right?
To some extent. For me, like the experience of reading it is more like lush.
Of
Like there's
course.
more humanity in these characters. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Especially once it started getting very special effect-y towards like the last like 2 or 3, like it's super fun, very visually appealing and all this kind of stuff, but it did not quite like, I'm like, that wasn't what I liked about it, you know? And that's just personal preference.
Are there any movies where you actually think the movie is better than the book?
I mean, it's so hard to say better. You know, what does even better mean? I enjoy the Lord of the Rings movies more than I enjoy the Lord of the Rings books.
Oh, the movies are so good. Also,
the books are good. The books are good. I've read them. They're slow. I mean, they're written in what, like 1930 something?
Yeah.
Maybe even the 1920s? I have to go back and look. Maybe the 1940s. I could be totally wrong. But it feels like a while back. The Hobbit is super easy to read.
Okay.
And I actually haven't seen those
author,
movies.
though.
Same author,
Just different
But
style.
he wrote it later after the success of Lord of the Rings, and it was intentionally made for children.
Oh.
So maybe that's why I like it better, because I have a childlike energy.
You do. The difference between childlike and childish.
Yes, I have both qualities, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Tell me about your childishness.
My childishness.
I I mean, your T-shirt is freaking awesome.
My TI, is this my T84? Yes, thank you very much.
I think that's maybe pretty good evidence.
Yeah. I have a
Because-
childish sense of humor, I would say. I like being silly even without it being clever. I like doing clever stuff too, but like, being silly without being clever is like the purest, most, I don't know, maybe that's childlike. I could be both.
No, this is great. And this is something I really want to talk about.
Okay.
The comedy-ishness. So I have this project called Pinko Fuss.
Yes, sir.
And I loved like walking that line between comedy and tragedy, using comedy, using satire to get to something a bit deeper, but it was also just fun.
Yeah.
There's also a tendency for me, I don't know for you, to sort of mask or access some harder feelings through comedy.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to say comedy because when there's a large discussion here I don't know how to pull out. But like, let's start this way. So many people in music are so concerned with aesthetic. Definitely. Being cool.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things that I love about your music
is that it's not very cool.
is that it's just not cool.
Which is kind of though. I mean, like I'd see what you're saying. I mean, continue.
You're totally. It's what I want to say is that it's substance over style.
Correct. It's function over form.
Function over form.
Yes. And same with my outfit. Same with the way that I live in general. Like my lifestyle is pretty like inexpensive. I live in a place where I can just bike places and I get super sweaty all the time, but I just kind of wander around and like, in my basketball shorts and my hat and whatever.
Right. The basketball shorts I like, but you could be living this artist life, this tatted up.
This is true.
Angsty,
Yeah.
And
that works for a lot of folks.
It does.
And I've also watched it not work for a lot of folks,
Yeah. Did you ever try that?
Did I ever try to be cool? Yes. I spent some time attempting to look cooler, be cooler, whatever. Yeah. I'm not a good actor when it comes to like real life acting of like putting on like a face or a facade or whatever. Like I'm very bad at hiding my emotions. If I'm like given a part in a play, like I can do that. And that's super fun because that's like, I'm here to do this thing. But anytime where I am representing myself as something that feels inauthentic, I just kind of seize up and I'm like, I hate this. I don't want to do this.
Does that get you in trouble?
Sometimes, yeah. I have come across as, cold or, brusque or whatever. Because especially like, okay, say you're in a situation where you go and you hang out at a writer's round and you say, hey man, I really love your song. And they go, oh yeah, dude, thanks so much. I love your stuff. Like we should write sometime. I have difficult time just saying like, yeah. And then moving on. You want
to be honest.
They can tell that I'm just like,
No, I get this. And I think it's better to be honest, right?
Better. There's pros and cons to different ways of doing it,
That's the thing. Sometimes that cool thing, sometimes the thing that culture or society expects of you is less honest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
About just literally, but also about my character, I feel. So if somebody wants to write with me, I try to, and I know that I don't want to do that. Not because whether it's because they're terrible or mean or not my style or whatever. I'm just not writing music with other people right now. I'm focused on something else.
Sure.
I want to say something like, I really can't right now.
Yeah.
But let's stay connected.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I've been working on it. I've been doing this for a number of years now. And I think that I'm getting better at deflecting when I need to deflect and whatever. And also like the way that I have now kind of built my musicianship is more of a solo project in general. So like if someone's like, oh, we should write for you. I'm like, don't waste your time. I'm not going to cut that. Like, we should write. Oh, we should write for me. I'm like, oh, okay. At some point I will write for other writers, but I'm just not doing that right now. So like that is an easy way out. But that was not always my situation. I used to be writing twice a day.
Yes.
And so someone is like, oh, like we should write. I'm like, what excuse do I have? I write all the time.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is fine.
We have a lot in common here. And I'm actually a bit surprised that we haven't run into each other more.
Yeah.
In Nashville.
Yeah. I know that we have met before, but I don't know where.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I want to circle back to the internet
This
success.
is good. I like this is really growing on me. I'm not gonna lie, I've never had a mojito in my life. So, but it is a line in one of my songs.
Is it because you're worried they're going to be poison?
No, there's no like fear or worry about it. It just is not something that I've like come across in my life. I'm not a big mixed drink person, mostly because I'm a very frugal person. Very frugal. So anytime that I like go out to a bar, I'm like, what are the drink specials? What's the blah? Well, PBR is the cheapest. Let's get some PBR.
Well, one could say that, I don't know, but dollar for dollar in terms of euphoric, a chemically induced euphoria,
Yeah.
that liquor may be a more financially efficient means.
Certainly if I'm at a party or I'm at my house or whatever, like I will drink liquor by itself. I don't mind doing that. I drink vodka just straight up. I think vodka is delicious. I like bourbon as well. I don't drink it all the time, but if I'm going to drink either of those things, I don't want ice. I don't want water. I don't want a mixer. I'd rather just drink vodka in a cup.
You really know who you are, Ian. And I
I like the burning feeling in my mouth. And if you water it down, you're like, now it just tastes like bad water.
Right.
You know?
Before it
and
was
I love
fire.
water. Water is my favorite drink, for sure. I love water.
Wow. Do you have that on your dating profile?
That water is my favorite drink?
Yeah.
I do not, but I do have a comedic song about water being my favorite drink. And third place is ginger ale. And second place is cum in the song. In the song. It's not real. It's just a joke.
Okay. I like that.
But it's a catchy song.
No doubt.
So there's comedy. There's comedy around.
Yeah, there's comedy around. It's amongst us.
When you were talking about like approaching like deep stuff through comedy is a hard word because like comedians do like a specific kind of art form. And so like what I do is kind of comedy. It's more humorous music.
I couldn't identify with this more. When I was starting out writing songs, when I was in school for writing songs.
Oh, wow. Where'd you go?
Berklee College of Music.
I'm aware of it.
So people...
I've actually played 2 concerts at Berklee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the Red Room.
Yeah.
939.
I love that room. So people would come up to me after hearing my songs and say, Noah, your songs are so funny.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean for them to be.
Yes, but yourself came through your art.
Right.
You know, and you view the world in a humorous way.
So I wonder if why you think your inclination is that way. I think that part of it is growing up listening to hip hop.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
When
definitely.
Lil Wayne
Eminem.
Eminem uses when they use puns.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
yes.
And when I do it, people are like, oh,
you know. Well, you definitely bring a different energy to the table than Lil Wayne does. I don't think I'm the first person to make
what
point
exactly
that
do you
out,
mean by that?
Let's go into detail.
Okay,
here.
that's fine. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. But so why, when you're surrounded, also, okay, so you have a degree in math.
I do. And cello.
That's right. So
yes.
these would strike me as rather serious things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you want to make a career in the music industry,
Right.
which, for better or worse, people take seriously, especially in this town.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you attribute your inclination to making songs that not just make people think about life, but make them chuckle? Like,
Well, so my like theory of creativity is that there's so much creative stuff in the world, so much entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, go entertain, go be entertained. And when you're like, I can't find the thing that I want to entertain me, make it. You make it. You know, and I want that. What I want in the world, there's a, quote on the wall of my high school attributed to Gandhi. I'm not Gandhi, but, be the change you wish to see in the world. I think that applies to culture as well.
Wow.
Like I want more of like, emotionally difficult conversations in a way that feels accessible. And like comedy and humor is an accessible way to deal with like the difficulties and the nonsense of life and the just kind of like, even when you feel like, lost or you feel angry or whatever, you can kind of like put a humorous spin on it in order to make the discussion entertaining and accessible.
make it happen in the first place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just make sad music and plenty of people do it and they do a great job. I listened to The Bends by Radiohead yesterday, that album. And it's not very funny. Like they have some jokes in there, but even the jokes are not funny because it's over the backdrop of like very serious and like pain and whatever. And it's I'm so glad that it exists.
Yeah.
But they already did that. So
Right.
like,
So
I'm gonna do something else.
do you think it's harder to go your own way in this regard, or maybe you have a more unique thing and people glom onto it because it's different?
Yeah, I think both. I think both. I think it's harder earlier on to be something different, especially like when you're something different, but you have not like really nailed down what it is that you do. Cause like I've done different music for a long time. And like, you know, starting out, some of it was really cool. And, you know, I go back and listen. I'm like, oh, I was really onto something there, but it was not refined, especially like the lens through which I am viewing the world is not like crafted fully, you know?
Yeah.
So like as I go through life and I, you know, kind of get a little bit more clear perspective, I'm like, oh, now that I have a perspective, I can kind of just tell you what it looks like through my specific lens. Because like, I don't think anybody else has exactly the same lens that I do. But when I make it and I entertain myself, I probably don't have tastes that are that unique. Somebody else is going to like this thing that I like too, right?
Yeah.
Just like they like Pluribus or they like Scrubs or whatever it
Right.
is, you know?
Well, Ian, you're clearly a deep thinker and a fun guy.
Thanks.
Which I like to identify as those things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little
I see that
full
in
of
you.
myself, but I want to make sure that we bring in some listeners that may not know you so well. They may not know your music. So
Totally.
I'm going to try and hit you with some more rapid fire
Bring it.
sort of questions.
I'm ready.
So what's it like to have people sing your song at you?
It's great. It's cool. I mean, especially when somebody like knows all the words, like it's clear that that song has, you know, had some kind of profound impact on their life.
So
even if it's just a soundtrack to their life and not one that made them go like, Bane, whatever.
So people just run up to you and go, "You never take me to Bangladesh."
I get that a little bit. Yeah. I mean, Bangladesh has only been out for about a month. So this is a new phenomenon.
Yeah.
But I've had other pops on the internet before.
Right.
Nothing quite this size. This is the biggest one so far. But you know, I have had hot streaks before where I get recognized in public. And the first time that it like really started happening, I got super spooked. I moved away from Nashville for 2 years because I was like, why do I even do this? What?
Whoa.
But then I moved back because I got my head on straight. I figured out my priorities and my goals and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, people singing your stuff at you. It's super cool. I thought your question was like in concert, but like on the street. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, in concert, that's really
That's
what
the
they're there
spot
for.
to do it. Yeah.
Right. It's like when you're in line.
I
at
get
grocery
recognized most often at my own concerts for sure.
store. When people have bought tickets.
Bought tickets for me. Yeah.
Okay. There's so much chatter about how to have success in social media.
Okay.
Both with music and otherwise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it like 89% garbage or 100% garbage?
I think that having success on social media is often treated as a goal within itself, and it is not. It is a strategy to achieve a goal. So one must first figure out where you're trying to go. How can social media help you get there? And then you'll have a much clearer image, you know? Because I mean, like, you know, when I started on TikTok during like early COVID or whatever, I was just like, just get more followers, anything to get more followers. And after a while, I was like, this is very empty. Get more followers for what? For what purpose?
Right.
You know? And then also like when you kind of lose your hot streak, you know, you go through waves on social media of people are like, yeah, this is great. And like, well, you kind of seen it before, whatever. When you really link like the goal is get more followers and then you stop getting more followers or you start losing followers or your videos aren't doing well. Like it's so like personally difficult.
So do you pay attention to what people are saying? Like, post every day, post at noon, don't post every day.
Yeah.
You know, like there's so much, maybe it's just my algorithm feeding me this, but you must
possibly
get
because you were
ads.
interested in those strategies.
Yeah. But I think that I think that it's mostly nonsense. That there's enough randomness.
Yeah.
That that's those sort of core values that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
That it's not only a fool's errand, but a short road to madness.
Definitely. I mean, I think that anything that is like, same with like finance advice, like anything that is presented as a hack is hacky. Like it's not It's a hack. It's hacky.
I've never thought about a hack like
like this is your way to like make $1,000 a day and whatever. It's like,
Right.
yeah, build a business that makes $1,000 a day for you. Like that would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Same with social media, like post every day, post at this time, whatever. Like, yeah, like if you consistently put yourself out there with increasing quality, like you're going to develop a fan base over time. Like that feels like a pretty good advice to me, and like a sustainable model as well.
right.
And
it
but if
really,
it's like, oh, it's only going to work if you do hashtag,
oh my god,
FYP,
like, you got to do
hashtag
your
this,
hashtags and your captions.
ABC,
I'm like,
XYZ.
I just there aren't. I don't have enough F's to give.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have I don't care. There are I need to mow the lawn.
Yeah.
And that's more important than if the caption is this or that.
Right. Yeah. The caption or the hook does matter. And like something like, if you do post every day, that gives you so much like trial and error data. You're like, oh, it like works a little bit better if I start this song 2 seconds later, because like that way the hit part of the song like hits you right away, doesn't give anybody a chance to swipe away because they're like, oh, I love this song, or like, oh, this is interesting. Whereas like if I give like a 2 second lead up to a song, they might be like, I don't know, this is onward. And they don't even get to the point.
So there's you think that they're having some cleverness here, having some thoughtfulness about it is going to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel you're such a thoughtful guy though? Were there periods there where you tried just throwing caution to the wind and be like, well, whatever, I'll just make it.
100%. 100%. Especially early on after the first hot streak ended. Because like my first like TikTok life was I would like go on walks, I'd write as many one-liner jokes as I could think of, and then like I'd sing 5 and like record them, and then I'd post 3 of them every day. And like if you post 3 every day, you can get a lot of views and a lot of followers very quickly, and also everybody burns out on that way faster, because that's it's basically 100 jokes a month, and I also didn't have like a lot of variety in my melodies at that time. And so like when things started going south, I was like, I gotta figure out this thing. Maybe I gotta post at noon. Maybe I gotta do the right hashtags. Maybe I gotta do this, that, whatever. But sometimes, you're the flavor of the month just kind of, the month ends.
Yeah, you
find a new flavor.
New flavor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that. What do you do with? This celebrity engagement feels special.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Right. What are you supposed to do with that attention?
You can try and leverage it into a feature.
You're trying to get Lizzo on the track.
Possibly. I'm thinking about what exactly to do. Because, the way that I saw Bangladesh, even as it was blowing up, was like, this is kind of a Trojan horse. I'm going to deliver my album to you on the back of Bangladesh.
So you knew it was fun. You knew it was like really fun before it popped off.
Yeah. I knew it was good. I didn't know it was going to be like a global song. That's wild. I made this thing. It's 49 seconds long, and I made it in my living room / kitchen / studio.
And you've done something similar how many times?
Yeah, a number of times, But I will say I have a side page on Instagram and TikTok, which is just my name backwards. I call it Lenockham with McConnell backwards. But I do a short silly song every day. And Bangladesh was like the 208th or something song back in November. I made just the first verse of it. And I have some followers there. It's a decent following, but not like my main page or whatever.
Yeah.
But I got a ton of comments that were like, this is special. You should hold on to this one. Maybe finish this one. And so I'm like, okay, when it's time to make the album in a few months, like I'll think about what to do about this. So
very cool.
It's a nice way to kind of like, get more trial and error kind of stuff of like, okay, some of these really work, some of these really don't. Even the ones that work, sometimes like if it worked, but I didn't like it, I don't like that it worked. And like, if I liked it and it didn't work, I still liked it and I feel better about that. So now I know like, it must entertain me. Whatever it is that I put out there, it must entertain me. Because if it flops, it entertained. And if it does well, but you hated it, you're going to be like annoyed that it did well.
Yeah.
People are going to know this thing about you that you don't even like that you did.
Yes.
So, that's one of the biggest lessons that I've had to learn over 6+ years online.
Wow. You've learned a lot, clearly.
I have learned a lot, yes. And I took some time off as well. Like I said, I moved away for almost 2 years, 23 to 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have put it in your bio, but you're a fellow Virginian.
Oh, are you from Virginia?
Yeah,
Let's
Northern
party.
Virginia.
Northern Virginia, where at?
Yeah, Vienna.
No way. I went to Kilmer Middle School.
What?
Yeah, where'd you go to middle
knew it.
school?
Thoreau.
Okay, very cool. I had friends that went to Thoreau. Where'd you go to high school? You went to Madison?
Yeah.
Okay, super cool. We played you. I went to TJ, so we played you in baseball and stuff like
Oh
that.
my God! Yeah, of course.
And
For
you
those
were
who don't know,
posted in
TJ is like the very exclusive school for the smartest kids.
Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, class of 2013.
You have a math degree.
Yes, from Furman University in South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know very little about the sort of philosophy and idea and the field of mathematics.
It's awesome.
Can you blow my mind a little bit?
Can I blow your mind? Probably not. I don't have anything just like ready to go. But basically, a math degree teaches you how to prove things. You know, like how do you take logical steps to get from this given to this outcome? Okay, given that, you know, show that A is always equal to A or whatever. I actually don't know that you can prove that one. I think that one is like a reflexive property or whatever. So
I was going to say
that might be like a bedrock of math and logic, you know. But learning how to think logically and take steps that are based off of true statements already said, is just like a really lovely life skill to have.
Okay, that's so interesting. You made it into a life skill because I feel like I see this in your personality. I don't mean
the
that
logic
as an
thing.
Insult.
No, I don't take it as an
it's
insult.
interesting
I'm
because
not super easily insulted. So
you're great because boy, Adam just sat down and Adam's gonna
producer Adam did all the videos for my season 1 project. Did a great job. We had a great time working.
Thank you.
He's got the mic.
I'm very proud of those.
Yes, me too.
And you look really handsome in all of them.
Yeah, I do.
Is that you or is that him?
It's a mix.
Yeah,
a mix. It was a collab.
Okay, well, forgive me. I don't want to interrupt this reflection for the reflexive property, but you're an artist. Indeed. You're a singer and you're a songwriter. You play the cello, which why don't you do more of, by the way? But also that seems, I think, to a lot of people sort of antithetical to being like a person that has a math degree.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
What's the point of living? You know, like you can like learn a bunch of skills in order to what? You know, like you learn the logical way of thinking or whatever. Okay, so I can go use this logic to create money that creates money somewhere. Like that is a useful, you know, skill in business and all this kind of stuff. You can also use this logic to be like, well, it's not super fulfilling for me to go about life this way. So what if I go about it this way? Okay, well now I know that this is kind of a dead end. You know, you try a bunch of things and
I think about it as sort of like the scientific method more.
Definitely.
So. I was
100%.
I
use that a lot.
Less of I didn't like my math classes nearly as much as I liked my science classes.
Yeah.
And to me, I bring that into my life. I feel like learning about, you know, photosynthesis or how to conduct an experiment, the scientific method. I'm thinking, okay, this didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. I can see that this didn't get the result that I was looking for. So, what can I change to see if I can change the result?
And even if you can kind of reframe as like, instead of like trying to get the result you want, like right off the bat, run a field of experiments based on the same kind of hypothesis.
Yeah.
And see what the result is and be like, okay, is that result desirable?
Yeah.
You know, rather than like, I have a goal in mind that I need to get to. Run some experiments, see if what you get to is desirable. And if not, don't do that. Go do something else. And if it is desirable, be like, okay, like how desirable? Like, do I want to continue with that? Do I want to specifically not do that? Do I want to just keep this in my back pocket?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I feel like the question I'm trying to solve is why am I sad?
Why are you sad?
Or why am I tired?
Sure.
Or why didn't this? Yeah.
Yeah. Understandable. Yeah, lots of good trial and error there. And also listening to people who have experienced things before us as well.
For sure. Can we talk about Cringe?
Absolutely.
You're in fact, I really wanted to go to talk about the songs so your album's out as of the releasing of this podcast.
As of the release of this podcast, yeah. As of recording, it comes out tonight in like 11 hours, so pumped. I listened to it on the way over. It's still good. I did listen to it loud. It's even better loud. It's good quiet, but it's really good loud.
I believe that. One of the songs is it called "I Will Survive"? No, it's called
Yes, I Can Survive.
I Can Survive.
Yes.
And This is one of the songs that I love you for.
Thank you.
Because it's funny, but to me there's something
A real angst to it. Yes.
Yes. And I think people feel that when they compare some of your stylings to pop punk.
Definitely.
But you mentioned cringe. You say, I will survive this cringy Instagram post or whatever. I've heard people say that you just got to climb cringe mountain. And it seems like you're, I don't know, it takes a level of shamelessness to try and just make a bunch of art and publish it, period.
Yeah.
Have you always been so bold, so shameless for a cello playing mathematician?
No. I like, especially growing up, like embarrassment was such like a strong driver. I was very easily embarrassed, especially, hello, puppy dog. Especially in school growing up, even within the realm of like getting good grades. Like I would feel ashamed if I got like a C on something and be like, I can't believe that I did that. Like now future me is going to have to like work harder to like make up for this because it's important to my core values to get an A, which now I'm like, I would have been fine. It would have been so fine, but like it was so important to me at the time. And so I have to think about that even now. Like what is so important to me now that maybe is not like in the grand scheme of things going to be like the most important thing in my life, and feeling embarrassed is something that just like everybody feels. And if you get a lot of practice being embarrassed, there are things that one can feel guilty for doing. I have acted in ways in my life that I feel guilty about, but I have come out of those things knowing like, hey, don't do that again. Everybody feels terrible when you do that.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Don't ghost somebody, for instance. I did that one time when I was 17 and I still feel very guilty about it. But we made up. Everything's cool. But like, don't do that. Don't do that.
You heard it here, you heard it here first. Okay. Quality over quantity? Quality versus quantity?
It depends on the circumstance. Like with my little short song a day thing, ideally I want them to have quality, but you have to do something every day. You must do something every day. That's just my rule for myself. You have to make a little song every day. And sometimes they're going to be kind of dumb. But like as long as you can kind of entertain yourself, like what is quality? There's no like objectively without humans to look at art. Like the Mona Lisa is not special.
You as the judge. You as the judge of the quality.
Yeah, me as the judge of the quality. Well, did it entertain me?
Yeah.
Like that would be the thing, And if it entertained me and it entertained nobody else, I learned something about humanity. I learned that in this way, I am divergent from, my peers or whatever. And if I do something and everybody else likes it too, then I'm like, okay, this is more of like a human experience than just a me thing.
You don't think that it could be like ahead of its time or not reaching the right people?
Definitely. Absolutely.
You hear about all of these landmark pieces of art, movies, plays, etc., where people walked out of the premiere.
Yeah. I've been listening a lot to the Velvet Underground lately, and I watched their documentary on Apple TV, I think it was.
Do you like that music?
I do like that music. It's very interesting. Similar to this Spindrift, actually. It's like, it's not the most enjoyable, but it's so interesting. And like the story of these people working together and like these really big personalities, and also like the drummer Mo Tucker she just plays. She just plays. She stays out of it. She doesn't play cymbals almost ever. She basically just hits the drums. But it works, especially because like the two main guys, at least early on, was Lou Reed, who's the singer, and John Cale, who's this like super experimental Welsh guy. He's actually all over this new Charlie XCX album that's coming out. And they like were clashing all the time because Lou was like, we need to make pop music. And John's like, no, we need to make like groundbreaking music.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting when like, cause that had such a profound effect on music over the next now pushing 60 years. But at the time, like they couldn't sell tickets. They couldn't sell albums. They couldn't sell whatever.
Yeah.
I heard an interview with, I think it was Brian Eno, where he said like that third album they did sold 15,000 copies, but also started 15,000 bands of like poorly selling, but like profound impact on the people that listened.
Wow.
And that's cool. Kind of something that I am interested in my life of like, how can I, even if it's not like a super wide appeal, how can you have a profound impact on those that do engage with your art?
Yeah. I would say make it really really good.
But what is good? What does good mean? You know, like, because there's not an objective, like, you know, Ian makes good music. Like, I think that there's nobody else in the world that makes Ian McConnell music nearly
Right.
as well as I do.
Right.
You know? So, like, how can I most faithfully, like, use my specific perspective and talents in order to create something that is useful for humanity?
Yeah, Oscar Peterson said something like, "A genius is he who is most like himself."
Interesting. Very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that because I have confirmation bias because that's the way that I think of it as well.
For sure.
Maybe I would like it less if I thought differently.
Yeah, nobody likes me, but I'm the most me, so I'm a genius.
Right. Yes.
Do you like music theory?
Oh, dude, music theory is like my other language. I speak music theory. I've actually talked about this a lot recently, but like I don't even like, I think musician is my profession, but like musician is not my career. Like musician is like just the language that I speak like art or perspective through.
Yeah.
When I was young, my mom is a piano teacher. And when I was very young, I wanted to take piano lessons at a younger age than my mom was willing to teach me. And she said, not yet, but I'll give you these activity books. You can do these little fun activity books. And I was like, cool, activity books. But they were music theory workbooks. And so it's just like ingrained in my brain. Like it could have been French or it could have been Spanish, but it was music. It was music theory. So like I can hear intervals super well. I can just like understand music when I hear it.
What about the vocabulary? Are you good with the vocabulary
Pretty good.
still?
Yeah, pretty good. Like I can communicate to other people who know music theory well.
Yeah. Cool.
Like dominant, predominant, that kind of.
You have that classical music theory.
Yeah. Well, that was the cello degree, you know. I
Okay.
did years of cello theory.
Yeah, I love music theory so much.
That's awesome.
And I recently, and actually, my day job more than anything else has been teaching,
Oh, great.
and a lot of
Teaching
music.
music.
Yeah, teaching songwriting, music theory,
Cool.
and some lessons.
Mhm.
It's tough for me sometimes to walk the line between the fact that music theory doesn't matter and you don't need to know it,
Sure.
and I think it's so incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
I tend to communicate it that way.
Right.
I think it is so amazing and so beautiful, and it's so important, especially for me to be talking in a sort of Berklee College of Music atmosphere, to tell all these kids, like these jazz heads who are like sweating over their AP music theory final, like you don't need to know it.
Right.
You know, oh, you want to do pop music? You do not need to know music theory at all. And to reference these interviews of jazz pianist giants who interviewed at some college, and they're like, some students like, you used the Mixolydian scale at this one moment on track 3 or whatever, and the guy's like,
Sure, if you say so.
I never played Mixolydian nothing, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it feels like a bit of a balance to me, and you have such a lightheartedness to your music, but there's some complexity there.
Definitely.
Bangladesh, I think, is really, it's kind of difficult to sing.
Yes. Which has been interesting to see, because like when you write something, you want it to be singable generally, you know, especially if you want something to be catchy and stuck in your head like a pop song or whatever.
Yeah.
But interesting, as there have been so many videos of folks covering the song or writing new verses or whatever, the notes and the cadences that folks have difficulty with has been like a cool feedback teaching for me of like, okay, something about this melody that I made was difficult and
addictive.
Felt unnatural while still feeling catchy.
Yeah.
You know, like, which was interesting.
And
you
that's
know?
that unique jewel.
Yeah.
And that's so, I think that's so beautiful. I thought I didn't analyze it very closely, but I thought it was the phrasing.
Yeah, could be. That too. I mean, especially like when folks sing it back, there's that, you know, you never, what is it? Never annoy me with oil, never write me a novel, you never poison the I say you never. And when people sing it, frequently they leave out that last you. So there must be something in the lyric side of it that makes it feel like it should be never, 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 instead of,
Yes.
because the way that the song is structured is it you, never, never, you. And I'm like, that's kind of limerick-like, right?
Can you recite those?
Yeah, you never take me to Bangladesh. You never cook me sausage on an open flame. Never annoy me with oil. Never write me a novel. You never poison the mojitos of my enemies.
Yes.
And then the second verse, I kind of throw it out a little bit.
This is why I love music theory. I mean, maybe it's not why I love music theory, but there's a structure there.
Definitely.
And that sounds good, whatever that is.
Right.
I like the sound of that. So many people like the sound of that. And it is a scheme of repetition and variation.
Right. Yes.
Oh, I love that. I'm like, oh, so why does a major chord sound happy and a minor chord sound sad? And people are like, oh, well, it's the difference in the third. I'm like, okay, but why does the flat third sound sad?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, nobody knows. You know,
Yeah.
oh, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus really sounds good. You know, why? Well, I don't know, because we like it. Oh, it's the rule of threes, or trying to describe why it sounds good or why we like it. Having the fashion change, having humanity evolve these rules or guidelines or form.
Right.
And then how does that play into my bleeding heart poetry? How does that play into my viral TikTok song?
Right.
That to me is so freaking cool.
It is so cool. And it's so interesting because, like, you know, back to the subjectiveness of art or whatever, like, it sounds good. Okay, it doesn't objectively sound good. It sounds good within the cultural reference that we all have. Like, we're all used to verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Probably over, you know, many, basically 1,000 years-ish of, like, folks writing songs all the time.
Yes.
Things tended to converge on this thing that seems to work for some reason more than the other things around it. It's kind of like the theory of evolution a little bit.
Totally.
But,
And it will,
you know,
it was different.
now we're both accustomed to it, but possibly we're accustomed to it because in the past, that's what folks tended to gravitate to anyway. And that's so interesting. I mean,
yeah, the way that I explain it to students is that, you know, I ask them who has studied classical music theory and had this rule given to them where you don't want parallel fifths if you're writing something,
I do
right?
that all the time.
And so it's kind of irrelevant if you're not familiar with music theory, but it's a rule and it's something which is broken all the time, in modern music.
It's useful to learn in, like, Baroque chorale writing, which is what you learn early in music theory.
This is the thing. If you were alive during that day and you wanted it to sound like, you could call it the pop music, but you wanted it to sound like X, you use these rules.
Right.
Right. And so in a similar way, like, oh, you want it to sound like techno music.
Yeah.
It's going to be a specific tempo.
Because
that's
probably
one of
four
the,
on the floor, drum.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of the rules.
Yeah.
Like, can you break? Of course, yes. Break the rules. You're an artist, right? Go crazy.
Yeah.
But if I have a band that's banjo, mandolin, you know, a yodeler, and an upright bass, nobody's going to think that it's
Like
punk.
bad techno music. Yeah.
You know,
right, exactly.
You know, so like you can do whatever you want, but it's these rules that give us and give our audience some idea of what it is, or the fashion, right? So if I say, if you want your songs to sound like they were written between 1960 and present day, then using verse, chorus, bridge, chorus is a really good idea.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's the best. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think, I mean, I remember that like parallel fifths thing is specifically because that's what they used to do at the time. And they were like, in the Baroque era, you know, 1685 to 1750-ish, Bach's lifetime, they were trying to get it to not sound like medieval music. Because they're like, oh, medieval music sounds old. It sounds like clunky. It sounds monastic, whatever. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And now, like, we do parallel fifths all the time. All the time. I mean, if you're playing bar chords on a guitar, that's literally parallel fifths.
Yeah.
All the way. Yeah.
Yeah. And people aren't like, oh, that sounds so Baroque.
No.
You mentioned the drummer of the Velvet
Underground, yeah, Mo Tucker, yeah.
One of your tracks on this new album is called Keith Moon.
That's true.
Is Keith Moon the drummer for Rush?
The Who.
The Who.
Drummer for Rush is Neil Peart.
Neil Peart, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I heard you singing, before we got started, I heard you singing Keith Moon in your
I love your stuff. Yeah, so is that a lyric in that song? I don't think so.
It is not.
So Keith Moon, I'm only making music when I'm messed up bad.
Yeah, that's
effed
right.
up.
That's right.
I'm only making music when I'm effed up bad. Okay.
Yeah, I only make good music.
Oh, is that the lyric?
I only make good music when I'm effed up bad, yeah.
Perverse incentives?
Yeah, possibly. I was doing a lot of thinking. I'm also a big Mac Miller fan as well.
Me too.
But I have been doing a lot of thinking over the past few years, especially like I had a project called Season 1 back in 2022 that I worked on with Adam. And my goals of all my music before that was just like, I was playing cover gigs. That was my living. I just wanted to make enough money off my original music to like have a life and be able to live off of that. And like I hit that goal and was immediately like, well, now what? Now why do I do anything at all? So I was thinking about like, okay, what makes like a successful life? What makes a good life?
Yes.
You know, like there are people who, you know, live in rural Idaho that live to 95 and they have a good life. You know, they have a good life. There are also people that I would say have had like profoundly successful lives that died at a young age.
Amen.
You know, like Keith Moon has
or
had
such a profound. Miserable.
Sure, are miserable, but I mean, I think that was less of my point with that song. It's more about looking at what does success mean? I mean, like if you just want to make good music and the only way to do it is to be super messed up, you know, like is that not a successful life?
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, but that's a judgment call, you know, like, cause I was looking at that too. Like you could be, I mean, there are times where I have looked and I don't have a desire to end my life, but I look at my career and I think, you know, if you were going to die tragically, like this would be a convenient time to do that because you become kind of like a myth. Like Mac Miller has become kind of a myth, or Tupac, or Biggie, or Keith Moon, or whatever. What could they have done? They probably would have said this. They would have whatever. I think those are very, very successful lives. I think they probably would have liked to live longer.
You think that success is based on how people talk about you when you die?
Well, but the impact that you've left on the culture. Like Keith Moon has inspired basically all modern drumming. The way that he drummed for The Who is so groundbreaking, you know?
And he died young?
He did, yeah. I think it was either a drug overdose or like an alcohol overdose.
Yeah, I think this is dangerous, Ian. I think this is a dangerous line of thinking.
Well, but can one not consider all of the options of like, especially when you think like my like overarching goal for my whole life is have a good life, which is a subjective statement. What does it mean to have a good life? Like it's a simple statement of a goal, but like what it implicates is extremely complex and subjective, you know?
Okay.
Does Mac Miller did he not live a good life? Like, he created some incredible things that he probably really enjoyed creating. I would assume he would have liked to continue on living. That was likely an accident. Same with Keith Moon. Same with, you know, whoever else, the Doors guy or Patsy Cline who died in a plane crash or whatever. Like these are successful people who have, is that a good life? Is that, I mean, what do you want out of your short time? You only have the one time on earth to do your thing.
Yeah, I guess I don't see their early death as a relevant part of the equation, except for how it is negative. Let me put it a different way. So we started here talking about your song.
Yeah.
Keith Moon. I'm only making good music when I'm messed up bad. Right. And similar to the next or another song on season 3, Time to Myself.
Yeah. Time to Myself. Yeah.
You talk about when you're alone.
Yeah.
How does the chorus go?
There is no chorus. it's not just one verse of a song.
Okay.
But the drug and alcohol bit,
I guess.
Yeah. You can dig deep into a drug and alcohol routine if you.
Right.
By yourself.
If you spend, spend a lot of time?
Yeah, if you spend enough time by yourself, you can get really, 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 really weird.
Right.
And all these other things.
If you spend enough time by yourself, and also you stop noticing that your room is
you can kind of just slip into routines.
Of what I would say are objectively not successful way of living. I'm going
to push back on the word objectively. Because you would say that, so it's subjectively.
It's just because it's, but I can say that something is objective, right? You may disagree.
You can, but if you say like it's objectively and then you say it's a judge, but then you make a judgment. Like it's like good and bad like is always based on a set of standards or goals or something like that.
Okay,
right?
That's fair.
So like I could be making an incredible album with the messiest room ever, high out of my mind the whole time.
Right.
Is that not successful? Is that not a good life? Like,
I think.
What if I was happy while doing it?
I think that's a bad life, and this is the cultural narrative that I get from our music culture, which I feel like has led me astray. This is the dangerous line of thinking that I'm referencing.
Sure.
I tried to be cool. I thought that smoking pot would make my songs better. I thought that it would make me cooler. I watch these
Cool is also a subjective statement.
I watch these documentaries.
Yeah.
I read these books about all of our heroes from the 70s and the 60s and 70s and beyond. And to find them suicidal drug addicts who died young.
Yeah.
I don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
And it's not worth changing drumming.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
understand that.
Right. So and that's what I feel so hugged and encouraged by your music in this way, by Keith Moon, the song, and Time to Myself, because I feel as though it's reinforcing that idea, or at least it's reinforcing the fact that you struggle with something like that as well.
Sure, yeah. I think it's so useful, and I think about this so frequently. The folks that have like really influenced me have been the ones who have been able to unapologetically speak their perception of things, regardless of like, oh, I want to be like them. Almost none of my heroes I want to be like, other than the way that they present their perspective on the world. Like when I hear Mark Maron on his podcast or his stand-up or whatever, I'm like, I don't want to think like you, and I'm so glad that you do, and tell us what it's like, because that is now a new angle that I can look at the world. Or when I hear Matty Healy talk in 1975 music, or even Taylor Swift music, like I don't have the same perspective as her on basically anything at all. And I'm so grateful to her for like being willing to share those perspectives, especially as you look at what is the life you want to live. Is it you want to be, change drumming forever? I don't really want to live that way, but it's worth observing. Like, I would still call that a successful life, even though it's not one that I want to live.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Same with Mac Miller. I mean, the whole bit.
Would you consider somebody who was successful in committing horrible atrocities to be successful?
That is a great question. I think it probably depends on whether they think that they're successful. I mean, success, again, is another kind of judgment call of like, against what set of goals? Like, Ted Bundy is a very successful serial killer.
Right.
Do I wish that they were more like him? I do not. And I also don't want to live like that guy, right?
Cool.
Or anywhere around it. But
cool.
I'm going to get trapped. I'm so ready.
No,
Cancel me. Bring it.
I would love to push
fade
more
into
on this.
obscurity.
I would love to much more on this idea.
Yeah.
Because I think we think about things similarly in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But there's an important difference here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know how else to flush it out.
Yeah.
And I also love that it is spurred on by the fact that I listened to your new album and think it's great.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Maybe let's do some fun stuff. Okay. Do you have all 10 fingers and toes?
I do have all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Yeah.
Prove it.
Well, my feet are down here, and if I have 5, I can take off my shoes.
Okay.
And show you.
Why not more cello? Oh, I've really touched a nerve. We've moved past serial killers. I really touched a nerve here.
No, not a nerve at all. No, it's a good question. I spent a lot of time with cello. I did not spend a lot of enjoyable time with cello.
Yeah.
I would say even like it probably took within the last 3 or 4 years for me to even understand music. I went to music school. I know music theory. I've been making music my whole life. I don't think I understood music until I was about 27 or 28 as like an experience. Like it is not this logical thing and there's the right way to do it. Like when I was playing, my whole cello career was like, I got to get these notes right. I got to like play it right. I got to have the right form. I got to do right everything. And even I would say making a lot of my early music, it was very spurred on by like, what is the right thing? How do people produce things or mix things the right way and whatever, as opposed to looking at whatever product is in front of you and letting it kind of like wash over you and be like, well, was it effective? Did it move you? Like against whatever, set of goals that you have? What is the point of these things? And I have made some music that was created super logically and the right way and whatever that is effective. And that is one way to do it. But sometimes I'll go back and listen to those and be like, but there is a sterility to these things of like, there are no mistakes in this, and there's no like outlandish line here or whatever, or even the outlandish line is so crafted that I feel like it loses some heart, you know?
Yeah.
I don't remember what the question was, but
Why don't you play more cello?
yeah,
It was the question. I
enjoyed the cello. It doesn't serve, like, you know, like I say, like music is kind of like the language. Like cello to me has not of late served my purposes of entertainment. Also, I think that I am like nervous to find out how much I've lost of my ability when I go back and play. I have a cello. It's in my house, but it stays in the case most of the time.
My lovely fiance Jacqueline said to me yesterday, I really was off my practice routine, which I have.
Okay, what do you practice? What
I'm
is
just practicing singing.
Oh, singing.
Yeah,
Okay,
becoming
cool.
a better singer.
Do you play instruments as well?
Yes.
What do you play?
Keys.
Keys.
I play some guitar as well.
Awesome.
I produced all that Pinko Fuss stuff with some help here and there, for sure.
Amazing. What DAW are you using?
I'm an Ableton guy.
Ableton.
But I just
Very
just
cool.
kicked it. I don't want to be in front of the computer for music anymore.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Which is part of my interest in cello, your cello playing. But Jacqueline's, I was off my practice routine. Jacqueline said to me so wisely, this is an opportunity for a new beginning.
Definitely.
I was frustrated. I was frustrated that I felt like I had, when you practice every day and then you take whatever, like 2 weeks off from your practice routine, you feel it.
Totally.
Right?
Actually, the first day back is fine, but the second day back, you're like, oh, I suck.
I had a teacher say to me, if you don't practice for 1 day, nobody can tell. If you don't practice for 2 days, your teacher can tell. If you don't practice for 3 days, everyone can tell. That was one of those music school things that effed me up.
Yeah, it stays in your head. Yeah. There's a football game today, but I'm in the practice room.
Right. 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 So I hope to hear you play cello. You're such a you're such a dynamic artist and performer. Not just the personality that comes out in your writing and playing and singing, but also the fact that you produce this stuff and that you're such a committed and effective online video maker.
Thank you.
So the fact that you don't use what many people would regard as an extraordinary skill, not abnormal, an exceptional,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that would really, you stand out well in a field of musicians because of your height. No, just kidding.
Yes.
But it's one of those things. It's like when Lizzo pulls out the flute, you're like,
Yeah, that's so sick.
what?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I will say it would be interesting. I think that I have, so like, before we got on, what we were talking about, I'm playing this game BioShock. I'm playing BioShock 2 right now on
Yeah.
the Switch. And it's great. And I've had BioShock 2 for like 5 years, and I just have never opened it until 2 days ago. And now I'm like, this is maybe one of the greatest games I've ever played. At some point, I will be ready to bring what I now understand about music to this tool that I used to make music for a long time, but was using this tool without understanding what it was that I was doing.
Yeah.
And when I'm ready to do that, it'll be like, oh, it's time to do that now. And I think that when that hits, it's going to be really cool. But as of now, like, I am writing these songs and I'm making this album and I'm going on tour and I'm making the videos and I'm just like, I don't have like a lot of extra appetite at the moment to like pursue those things. I actually do have some like interesting cello credits. There's a old Florida Georgia Line song where I'm playing cello in the video. There's like a bit in the video, Simple by FGL. They
No way.
In the video, there's a bit they're like having like a rural wedding or whatever, and it like switches into like a cello version of it, and it's me playing all the cello parts. My friend Kyle was recording everything, so
That is so cool.
such a random little like fun fact, but yeah.
You're, wow, pop country cellist. Add that.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Add that to your resume. Here.
Yeah.
All right, I got some more fun things for you. Hey, Adam, how are we doing on time, my friend? I can't see the clock from here. 1 week.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty good with time as a musician. I'm feeling it. We
Nice.
usually shoot for an hour, but I want to talk to you more.
Yeah, bring it.
If I can find this. I asked you if you like music theory. I could talk about that forever.
Yeah.
Did I mention that we always film here? let me take that again. Did I mention that we always film here at the Treehouse Studios, Nashville? Here in Nashville, Tennessee. Adam, the Treehouse Studios? The Treehouse HQ.
Ooh, yes.
It's the headquarters. There are many outposts, but this right here is the headquarters. I'm sorry, I'm missing my. Oh, here it is. Okay, I did find out that you have all 10 fingers.
You did.
We don't know about toes. You have to subscribe to the Patreon if you want to see Ian's toes.
Yeah, I actually did put a video up maybe like a week and a half ago where I was standing on one leg singing a song, and you can see all my toes if you are interested.
Wow. Tell us about the tour.
Yeah, touring September, October, going around the whole U.S. There's a couple cities that I'm not hitting this time that I'm a little bit bummed to miss, but sometimes it's just the way it shakes out, when you're booking and whatever. But I'm hitting 28 dates starting in Texas in September, and I'll end here October 27th, playing at the end. This is my first time playing in Florida. I've never done Florida dates, but I have Orlando and Tampa this time. This is my first time playing in St. Louis. First time playing in Milwaukee. I've never been to Wisconsin at all. First time in Wisconsin.
You like
Heck
drinking?
Yeah, I like drinking. I'm not like
Boy.
the biggest drinker, but I like drinking.
People don't know, but
I've heard that Wisconsin is a big drinking
Oh
place.
my God.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
next level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be interesting.
But hey, what I always say at the shows is the more you drink, the better I sound.
Yes, I hope to sound good regardless of how much drinking you do, but do your thing.
Okay, and is it solo?
It is solo.
Cool.
Yeah, I have openers going the whole way, but my show is kind of a mix of stand-up and music. So like I try to make at least what I've done in the past, and I intend to do that for this tour as well, but I'm open to, having a new, calling an audible or whatever. But like I try to make one continuous arc last about 90 minutes, 80 to 90 minutes, whatever, where I have all the songs, but I have to connect them. And each show is different. I have to connect them with, some kind of improv-like quality of like, why does this song make sense as the next song? What is it that you're saying about life or, artistry or love or whatever it is,
Would you say that you connect the songs in a way that other songwriters might do, other singers might do, except you're making sure to hit some points to get some laughs?
Yeah. I would say so.
Sounds like a fun show.
Yeah. I would say I don't talk about my songs in my show, which is something that, like, especially in Nashville is a big, like, come to this round and everybody's going to talk about how they wrote the song and what the song is about or whatever. I find that my stuff, I find it's either self-explanatory or ambiguous enough that you can derive your own meaning from it. So I am going to use these as basically like arias within an opera of like, this is almost like a stopping point of the story. Sometimes a stopping point. Sometimes the song itself is more of a progression of the plot. Like in my album that's coming out now, it's structured as like a short story made up of even shorter stories. So each song, there are a couple songs that are kind of like, here's a resting point. This is where I am. But a lot of the songs are transitional of like, how do you get from this frame of mind of, I think that these things are the important things in my life, to a different frame of mind of, those things are either not important or they're not available to me, or I just have a new perspective or whatever. How do you continue to move and evolve a perspective over only a 28-minute long piece of art,
Yeah. Sounds like a fun show.
Definitely.
Sounds very well put together, but you're up there all by yourself and the audience changes and the vibes change.
Yeah.
You good with rolling with the punches?
Definitely. Yeah. I think that like the life skill that I work on the most frequently is adaptability. How do you, circumstances around you are always changing. Mm-hmm. Bemoaning new circumstances is a waste of time, You can, sometimes it's useful so that you can just kind of wrap your head around things of like, oh no, I don't have this thing anymore, but alas. But if you can find a way to like really enjoy the process of, okay, there are new circumstances. How am I going to approach them now? Using what I've already learned from the previous circumstances and my previous actions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Wow. It seems for somebody so analytical, you're just so much fun.
Thank you very much. I got to make it interesting for myself out here,
Okay, so the tour sounds like a blast. You're performing solo, finding openers.
Yeah.
I know that as somebody who's played the headline spot and who's been an opener, we often look for a little bit of variety, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. We want to have a bigger group, or we your fans, my family, your family, people that will like me, that will like you, trying to create a dynamic show. You got somebody who's playing the piano, then somebody who's playing the guitar, but also some similarity.
Sure.
Your show, your vibes are pretty distinct, kind of unique.
Yeah.
Is it tough to find openers that are not just going to sing sad boy acoustic music?
No, not really. I mean, I have, done a number of tours before, and so I know some openers. And I just focus on finding folks who are entertaining. However it is that you entertain, if you are entertaining, you're going to be a great opener. Wow. And you'll bring your fans, sometimes they have them, sometimes, your opener doesn't really have like a big fan base or whatever.
Yeah.
But as long as they are entertaining the crowd.
They put on a good show.
Yeah. Then it's going to be good vibes.
You bring in merch, like you got tees,
Oh,
you got new t-shirts.
I got tees.
Tell us about the stuff that we can buy.
Okay, well, I have a couple of different t-shirts. I'm still working on the designs, but I have a couple of different t-shirts. I also have a quote-unquote poetry book called Lanakam on Mute, which is a lot of my short songs presented as poetry. And a lot of these songs are humorous or nonsense or whatever, but it's kind of like a small little coffee table book and a way to have creative thing around, that's just a little bit different than music. And then I'll have some CDs as well. Some people still do CDs. I don't think I'm going to do vinyls because it's hot in the car and like everything gets jostled around and I just don't super trust myself. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But like I'm not ready to deal with all that yet. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I want some of that Lanakam poetry.
Yeah, you got
Lanakam, am I saying
Lanakam,
that right?
that's right.
McConnell backwards?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you do for fun, Ian?
Oh, I love walking. Walking is one of my favorite things to do. I walk and I think and I listen to music. I walk with friends. I walk alone. I go running. I travel by biking mostly. I mean, I drove out here because this is a bit long to bike and you have to take the highway and I don't want to bike on the highway. But I chat with friends. I like to cook food. I like to go out to eat.
You like to cook?
I like to play.
You like to cook and you like to eat.
Yeah. I think eating is delicious. Eating is the best.
You like to go out to eat. What do you like to? Where do you like to go in Nashville? You got recommendations for us?
Yeah, dude, I'm actually a big fan of the Assembly Food Hall downtown. I do a lot of walks downtown, and I like wander around downtown. And I listen to the music that's playing, and then I'll go sit by the river for a little bit, and then like you can get free water and bathrooms at the Assembly Food Hall. So I'll go up there, get some water or whatever, and I'll be like, it's time for some Thai food, or I'll get a banh mi, or I'll get Princess Hot Chicken, or whatever.
Can I publicize roughly the side of town that you live in?
Yeah, I live in East.
Okay, so you live in East, and you walk to Lower Broadway.
Well, I bike to the bridge. I bike to the bridge.
Okay.
And I leave my bike at the bridge.
And you listen to music while you're doing that?
Not while I'm biking.
Not while you're biking,
because that feels
safety.
dangerous. Yeah.
Okay, and then you start walking and you throw in those Dr. Dre Beats / AirPods?
Sometimes. Mm-hmm. I actually don't have either of those. I have like airport headphones that I got like 7 years ago, and actually the left one has now lost all of its high end, so everything feels super lopsided. It's time to get some new like kind of trashy headphones.
Airport headphones, like the ones that the flight attendants hand to you on
No,
flight?
Ones that like I was in an airport and my headphones broke, and so I got them from like the Hudson News or whatever. They were like $25. And they sound like $25. Now they sound like $3 maybe. But
and boy, do they sound like $25.
They're useful. I mean, they're useful to have of like, I tend not to, if I'm on a walk, I tend not to like constantly listen to something. It's more like I'll be walking and I'll think about a song and I'm like, okay, I'm going to actually go listen to that song. And I'll listen to the one song and then I'll put my headphones away and then keep walking. And then I'll have a similar thing. Unless I'm listening to my album or I'm listening, especially I mix all my own music too. So like if I'm listening to my mixes in these headphones, like that kick drum is just too loud or it's too compressed or it's whatever. Then I'll listen on a more long-term basis. But usually it's just kind of like sporadic because I like to walk and think. I'm a big thinking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's it feels like maybe a little bit of either a spiritual practice or sort of like exercise, both physically and psychologically.
Yes, all of the above.
Yeah.
All of the above. And I am a member of the zoo. I like to walk at the zoo also, go hang out with animals, especially when you're like, what's important in life? And then you look at other animals and you're like, what's important to them? What do they do? What are they doing? Are they thinking about things? Some of these monkeys are definitely thinking about stuff.
Yeah.
Some of these like lizards and whatever, I'm like, I think probably you're not thinking about anything, but
right.
What do I know? And then I'm also a member
I can't believe you would say that.
The Frist Art Museum, which is super fun. It's always good to go. Like art is art, and like especially stuff that I don't make at all, like going somewhere to consume art. Oh, I like to go to the movies too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, you like the zoo?
Controversial.
You think so?
At times. I think they're important.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes they make me sad.
Why?
Understandable.
But they
Because
are...
the lizards don't have anything to say?
Yeah. And the whole time I'm pretending they're talking to me the whole time, and they're really not. But
Me too.
I do like the zoo. I think it teaches, its greater good is teaching young people the beauty of young animals and old animals and how to appreciate them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting, especially the animals that are here in the Nashville Zoo that would, like, if they're tropical animals, they would not experience a Nashville winter. And if they're, like they have an Amur leopard, I think, or they have a tiger or something like that from kind of like northern China, southern Russia, and like they would never experience the heat of Nashville. Like it's very interesting of like
Or the country music.
or the country music, but specifically like the climate. Like they're not adapted to the climate in which they now find themselves. But their food comes without them having to do anything.
Right.
So there's pros and cons.
Yeah. Welfare.
I did see a flamingo in a cowboy hat almost say a slur, so I think they're getting used to the culture.
They're getting used to it.
You're gonna fit right in here. Okay. Boy, I need to do some of those things, some of those life things, like go to the movies,
Yeah.
go to the zoo.
A lot of good movies out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Obsession was awesome.
The Odyssey.
Odyssey's not out yet, but
Oh.
it is coming out soon. I enjoyed Toy Story 5. That was super fun.
Did you see 1 through 4?
I did. Yeah, I loved 1 through 4. 3 was probably my favorite, followed by 1.
Was 3 with the one with Forky?
No, that was 4.
Okay.
Also good. 4 was good. 5 was really good. It did not change anything within me. I'm a big, like, I want the art that I consume to, like, change me or, like, give me a new perspective. It did not. Obsession totally did, though. Really an interesting movie.
Yeah, that I understand was sort of a not diamond in the rough, but unexpected, not like a low budget movie that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I want to see
Very, very effective. Another kind of like, they are interesting. Curry Barker is the director. They, I say I do kind of the function over form thing. They kind of do that, but they also know how to do the form. Like they also know how to do like kind of patchwork special effects that look good enough. They're like, well, it doesn't have to be like $100 million CGI or whatever. They're like, well, that was effective to get the point across.
Yeah.
And then let's move on. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Super cool. I take
Adam,
inspiration from that a lot.
Are you a movie guy?
I do enjoy them. I don't have quite the attention span to watch them as of recently,
Yep.
and that's something that I should probably talk to a professional about.
Well, that's something that I enjoy about going to the movies is like, if I'm putting on a movie in my house, I'll go 40 minutes and be like, I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
But if I'm at the movies and I've like paid for my ticket and whatever, and my phone is off, like you can't use your phone in the movie theater, which is like such a blessing. It's
Yes,
like,
you can.
It's a space to not get talked to, at all, or like look at how did my TikTok do today? How did my whatever? You're like in a different world.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, makes a big difference. I think I said this to Emily the last episode, but Jack and I taking dance lessons, like I can't dance and scroll.
Yeah.
You know what I
right.
mean? And just that, the fact that I cannot hold my phone while I'm doing it makes it an enjoyable activity. Of course, there are other things that I love about it.
When you scroll, what are you scrolling?
Oh, God.
Is it mostly TikTok, Reels, YouTube? What is your
It's
thing?
mostly YouTube because I feel the negative effects of TikTok and Instagram
Okay.
most acutely.
Mm-hmm.
And with YouTube, it's, I don't know, a little bit different,
Yeah,
but not that different.
sure.
So I can scroll on YouTube and be like, oh, I need to watch a long form video for my health.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
And now long form videos are 3 minutes,
Right.
Right.
which is so strange. Because most of my video is, this is the very long form, but most of the video stuff I do is 3 minutes, about the length of a song.
Wow.
And when I talk to people, they're like, oh, we're not, or like, oh, we're looking to do long form content.
Right.
Or, oh, we're not looking to do long form content. And I'm like, great, you only thought 3 minutes. They're like, that would be the longest thing by 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah. Right.
I thought you were joking, Adam, and it was sort of a joke, but it's you're totally right.
Yeah.
Listening to an entire song, watching the video for an entire song is It requires patience.
Yeah,
these
I don't do it very frequently. Watch an entire music video. It's
Yeah.
rare that I do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to ask our guest, Adam?
I think you've done a pretty nice job.
Oh,
I think you've done
I've had a good time.
Yeah?
It's been great. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. I just double checking to see. I wanted to make sure that I asked you about your tour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need to know what your favorite plugins are or which EQ. you
Decapitator.
prefer. Oh, Decapitator.
Decapitator. I put it almost on
know-
almost everything. Also, Logic stock compressor.
Yeah, not bad.
It's always my second compressor. I use a Waves R compress or whatever to do top-down compression.
Okay.
And then I use the Logic stock, and I just freaking... I don't max it out, but I like get it to like, you know, it's a 20-to-1 ratio and just turn it way, way, way down in the mix. You know, use like between 5 and 15% of that as like a parallel up compressor. And that's especially useful on anything that you want to like be present, like your vocal or your... I mean, I basically do it on everything at this point, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm big on slap delay. I use Echo Boy Jr. And I do, you know, between like 40 and 60 milliseconds on either ear to kind of like just round out the sound.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the last thing that I was going to ask if you wanted to do, and we can cut this.
Okay.
But in your song, you said that nobody ever anoints you with oil. So I brought some avocado oil.
Okay.
It would be my first anointing.
I'm not actually so sure what anointing is.
I
didn't know it. I've never had a mojito. I don't know what anointing is.
I'm thinking I'm gonna pour it into a little dish.
Okay.
And also, maybe it's more appropriate for you to anoint me. I don't know the traditions exactly.
Okay.
I did look it up, and because I wanted to know if this was going to be really sacrilegious.
Sure.
The answer was like, if you're maybe.
Okay.
So
To anoint means to smear, rub, or pour oil, water, or anointment onto someone, usually as part of a sacred religious ceremony to declare them holy or designate them for a specific role. So you are right. Is this sacrilegious? No.
no.
Because I want to see you boys oiled up. Come on, let me tell you. I'll go hang out with some of those dang flamingos down in the zoo. Watch some cuties get oiled up.
Okay, well,
Wild.
this is our opportunity. My thinking was that I would pour a little bit of this avocado oil into this dish.
Okay.
And then you can maintain the posture of your choosing.
Okay.
Maybe you wish to kneel. Maybe you wish to just stay seated. And then I would I would just dab a little bit on my finger and tap it to your forehead and maybe make a sound effect or an ohm.
Yeah,
or,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
By the way, this will make you Jewish.
Oh,
It will
yes.
make me Jewish.
Yeah, Noah did this to
very
me a few
interesting.
years ago, and we go to synagogue all the time.
That's
so
right.
That's interesting. Are you Jewish?
Yep.
Are you Jewish?
yeah,
Wow, I didn't know.
yeah, cool. Which is why we've brought you here.
Right. Yeah.
You will be
That's
too.
all for this.
Yeah. Okay.
You stay there.
Okay. I need to sit up straight at least. Maybe I should close my eyes. Yeah, there you go.
Ian McConnell, you say nobody ever anoints you with oil. Here you go.
Thank you. Wow. I feel different now. Definitely feel greasier.
I'm going to say it tastes great.
Check your bank account. It'll be tripled, and you have a mortgage. So let me
okay.
tell you, good
right.
things are coming.
Thank
you
you
got
very
Roth
much.
IRA? Not yet. You will in 10 minutes.
Well, Ian McConnell, thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for being here with us
No.
today. Yeah, if you haven't checked out the album, season 3, make sure you do that. If you live in the United States, definitely check that Ian McConnell tour schedule because he's probably coming to a city near you. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Noah. Swag.
Done.
Amazing. That was great, dude.